That's right.
This call is being recorded.
All right, all right. Hey, good morning. Coach 100K here, helping you make six figures in this industry. It is a treat and a treasure, an absolute pleasure to be here with you this morning, guys, on our Uplift Leadership Call. Guys, we're excited. This is the day the Lord's made, so rejoice. Go ahead and be glad in it. So don't leave it there. The Bible says, now sin now, prosperity. See, don't stop at the familiar part. Keep reading because the whole thing is every day is full of another opportunity, full with another chance of today being your day that you'll reach your destination. There is a place called there. You keep stepping, you'll make it. It was Jim Rohn that said, if you wait for every light to be green before you leave your house, you'll never start your destiny or do your journey to your destiny. But guys, get ready, get pen and pad today. Get ready to learn, get ready to earn, get ready to get more empowered as our connector, uh, Dr. Breakthrough, the guy that knows how to put it together, the teacher like none other, the one who has done what none others have done and gone where others have not gone, and wants to teach you the same thing. He wrote a book called How to Build a Big Team Fast. And he does it, build teams into the millions, teaching others to do the same, empower people all over the world to break through. He's our international global trainer as well as Uplift Crown 7 number one income earner. Dr. Breakthrough is breakthrough time. Shark Shark.
Hey, thank you, Coach 100K. Again, man, what a great joy to be able to team up and work with you. It's like Batman and Superman working together, and you and the Queen with your endeavors, empowering 100,000 families to enjoy the six-figure lifestyle. And as we always say, it's not so much money as what the money allows you to do. And that's one of the things, my friend, our guest speaker, Robert Butwin, I feel like I need to call him Dr. Robert Butwin because this guy has been 35 years in this industry, super, super successful, made multiple millions of dollars. As a matter of fact, he's in the Network Marketing Hall of Fame. He's on the board member of several companies and organizations, my friend, and he's got a heart as big as Texas. He's one of the kindest, gentlest guys you ever want to meet. Like I said, he is operating at a very high level. He's a powerful author also. Does incredible interviews. I just listened to another interview with him the other day, and I was just blown away. He's the kind of guy. Now, Coach, there's some people, like, you don't hear from them in a long time. When you hear from them, they're going to try to recruit you into something. Robert's the kind of guy, every time you hear from him, he's going to give you something or connect you to something that's going to empower you and help you to do more and better at what you do. So he is the kind of guy, my friend, that you definitely want to model your life after. He and his lovely wife, Bonnie, and their family out there in California. And Robert, by the way, when you're talking about personal development and mindset and so forth, this guy, I mean, he's probably bought more material, invested in more material probably than anybody that I know. And again, you're going to enjoy him with great delight. Now, he's kind of a low-key kind of a guy, but he's going to be hitting you with such powerful things that'll make you like, wow. And again, his heart, his love, his compassion comes through. Now, that daily attitude adjustment that you guys heard me, that often we go through, it dawned on me the other day. I wrote that. Robert Butwin and I and Dr. Doug Fireball, Jeff Combs, Jerry Clark, we were speaking all together out in California, and woke up 4 o'clock that morning, and those words came to me. But again, so Robert Butwin always has a special place in my heart, and we're so delighted to be able to get him this morning. So I want you, my friend, to get something to write on, something to write with. But I want you, my friend, also to open up your heart to receive literally compassion and instruction, perhaps like you've never done before. Robert Butwin, the brother like no other. Take it away and do what you do best, man. Power to you.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Stan. I'm really honored, and it's going to be a pleasure to be here. As I think today, it's like the best of times, and it's the worst of times for some of you. The best of times for those of you that have listened to and taken action based on what Dr. Stan has talked about as far as having a breakthrough, and you've had your breakthroughs, and you're going to continue to have your breakthroughs. The worst of times are for some of you that are sort of a little bit frustrated. You haven't had, you haven't had your breakthroughs. You're watching people around you having those breakthroughs, but you just haven't had it. Let me tell you when I had my defining moment. It was many, many, many years ago. And I listened to a speaker, Wayne Dyer, and he talked about no limit person. And my breakthrough happened based on the fact that I came to the realization that the limits that existed in my life, I was responsible for them being there. And see, once you take responsibility for what is, you can take responsibility for what will be. See, one of the things I learned a long time ago, it doesn't matter where you start in life, or where you are now. The key is the direction you're headed and where you choose to end up. Life is about choices, but unfortunately, many people are in a state of denial. And I like the acronym of denial, which is don't even notice I am lying, and they're lying to themselves. See, once you take your responsibility that you can attract whatever it is that you want to attract. And that's sort of what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the two key aspects that go along with the 5 A's in the law of attraction. The two key aspects are, number one, believing that it is real. And number two, taking consistent action on all 5 A's. See, if you leave one piece of the puzzle out, just one piece, there is a chance that it might work for you, but the probability is it won't. So you need to understand all 5 A's in the law of attraction. The secret, for those of you that might not have watched The Secret, read the book The Secret, and what I want you to do, number one, is I want you to go to YouTube and Google, or not Google, search for The Secret and watch it. Again, we've got to take that consistent action. You can do that for free. And even as I tell you that, many of you probably won't do it. But see, once you understand that the law of attraction really works, then you start doing the 5 A's. And let's take a look at the 5 A's. The first one is being aware of what it is that you really want. When I started in this business and I saw the kind of money that people were making, I said to myself, if they could do it, I can do it. I had when I originally saw this business, the guy that in the company that I was making, he was making over $100,000 a month, when $100,000 a month at one point in time was big money in this profession. So my original goal was I wanted to make $100,000 a month. I was aware of what I wanted, but then I really, brought it down to more realistic. You want to have what I look at, smart goals, meaning that they're specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and they've got a timetable. But $100,000 a month when I started wasn't really realistic. So then I had to adjust it to a more realistic goal. So I readjusted it to $5,000 a month, because at that point in time, back in 1981 or so, 82, $5,000 a month would give me enough money to get away from my job so that I could stop trading time for dollars. When I originally listened to Jim Rohn, he talked about if you work hard in a job, you'll make a living. But if you work hard on self-development, you can create or you'll make a fortune. And a lot of what I learned, if you believe the promise, you'll pay the price. So I started to work really hard on myself. And I wish I could tell you that my first involvement in this profession was an overnight success. It wasn't. I created $102,000 in debt. And the only reason I know it is because when I first got involved, I ended up, the first person that became a customer of mine, I sold her I sold her $750 worth of weight loss. And that person was 5'7", 120 pounds. I think she was buying me because she ended up becoming my wife, and we're still married 35 years later. And she was the one that took, she was the one that when she saw what I was doing, she took over the accounting. So she knew exactly where I was, when we got married. So again, I wasn't an overnight success, but I continually worked on myself. One of the things I've learned as you go through the process of attracting the things that you want is we're all going to have different life experiences. And the key is how you look at those life experiences. I love the definition of experience. Experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. And so when you have different experiences, you can either validate the fact that that they're going to stop you from getting what you want, or you're going to use them as a stepping stone to ensure that you're going to get what you really want. So every time I would have those kind of negative experiences, like the fact that I had this kind of debt, I used it as something that was going to serve me as I continually had my breakthrough. So again, the first A is being aware of what you want. The second A is affirmations. You start creating whatever kind of affirmation, and there's many different ways that you can figure out how to create your own affirmation. And when I'm talking about affirmation, I mean also meditation. It's like I still meditate, meaning when I go into the sauna, I'll go to a quiet place and I'll start thinking about what it is that I want. I start, when I wake up early in the morning as I'm laying in bed, I meditate, I think, visualization. But again, the reason why is unfortunately, a lot of us materialize the negative things that are happening to us. And so you want to be able to see the positive. You want to manifest the positive. So you want to affirm what it is that you really want. You want to see it. You want to internalize it so that you can bring it into a reality. Again, this is about the law of attraction. And the more that you bring it into a real thing of whatever you want. And again, I've mastered it. I mean, I've been able to create the exact kind of lifestyle that I've wanted, but it goes with the affirmation. Then the third A is accept. You need to accept the changes that you need to make. Another thing that I'll highly recommend, if you go to YouTube and look at Who Moved My Cheese, the movie, if you haven't seen it, it's really good. You can watch again for free because that's all about change. Again, if you continually do what you've always done, you'll continually get what you're probably always gotten. And that's why I started to plug in the information, because I knew if things needed to change, I needed to change. I needed to make the necessary changes. Most people are conditioned to be employees. It's how much money can I make per hour, get paid by the hour, rather than thinking about how much value I bring to that hour. Because let me give you the formulation for success. There's a direct relationship to the value and service that you bring to the marketplace and the rewards that the marketplace will give you. Who is the marketplace? It's people. In this business, the more that you are able to make a positive impact on people, the more success that you're going to get. So, again, it's like you need to start accepting whatever the changes are. Everybody's in a different place. So you need to figure out what minor changes do I need to make if I really want to attract things that I want to attract in my life. And that brings us to the fourth A, the actions. It might be the way that your external communications are when you're communicating with people. Are you starting to pitch them too early? Do they feel that you look at them as a money ticket rather than the fact that you're bringing value in a collaboration? What actions are you doing? Are you consistently doing the actions necessary that will allow you to create the success? How many hours a day do you work in finding your future? You want to balance the doing of the income producing activity along with the personal growth. Again, everything is about how we balance things. I can give you all the books about how to ride a bike. I can give you all the CDs about how to ride a bike. But until you experience balance, you're not going to learn how to ride a bike. So it's like, what actions are you doing on a consistent basis that will allow you to have the breakthroughs and allow you to create the things that you want to create in your life? And the last day is your attitude. Do you have the attitude of gratitude? Unfortunately, in this business, in the mind's eye, when I originally saw the business, all I have to do is go out and find 3 people and help those 3 people get 3 people, and those 3 people get 3 people, and I'm going to be a millionaire overnight. The mind works faster than reality. So you've got to take a look at, you've got to be grateful for where you are as you're going to where you deserve to be. And the point is, each and every one of us deserve to be very successful. My self-talk was, if others could do it, so could I. I would figure out what I needed to do so that I would create the success that I deserve, because I knew that I deserved success. And what I can tell each and every one of you that are listening, or that will be listening in the future to this recording, you all deserve to be successful. And your success is based on your internal and external communications, the technical know-how. That's easy to find. But you need to be able to communicate properly so that people understand this business. I totally believe that if people understood this business, everybody would be involved in the business. Because what does MLM really mean? Making life meaningful, making lots of money, making love more. You know, it can mean whatever you want. To me, it's a leverage business that's based on helping other people succeed. So the more that I can find those people that are serious, that seriously want to create a better life, and they're out there, you've just got to talk to enough people, and you've got to refine how you're communicating with people, and you will find the right people to be on your team. I love the definition of team. Together, everybody achieves miracles. You know, I know that Dr. Stan and the team of people that are around him are putting the insights. They're bringing the best, the best of the best people out there that will be there to help them, each of you succeed. One of my things in the law of attraction, I turned 68 years young this year, and I wanted to transition from being actively involved in network marketing to helping more people based on, I want to say the word retire, actively recruiting, to being able to give up actively recruiting after doing it for over 35 and a half years. And so that was one of the things that I was planning to do this year. It happened because I was putting together the law of attraction. It happened a little earlier. And so the first of this year, I actually retired from actively recruiting. Now I'm still working in the trenches because I'm inspiring the people that are already on my team, but I'm focused on how I can bring my message to more people and being on, calls like this where I can help people no matter what team, whatever company they're with. So it's been a pleasure sharing insights. I don't know if you've got any specific questions for me. I mean, I could rattle on and on and on, based on whatever you want me to talk about. So with that, Dr. Stan, is there anything specific that you would like me to cover or talk about? One of the things I can tell you about change is, when you first look at change, it's hard in the beginning, messy in the middle, but once you break through and you've made the changes that you need to make, it becomes second nature. You become unconsciously incompetent. It just goes like second nature. You don't even think about, the things that you're doing.
Wow. Well, Robert, the nuggets you've been dropping already, man, is just absolutely, powerful. Being aware of what you want. Most people don't know what they want. They know what they don't want, but they're not aware of what they want. And then the affirmations, like you said, the visualization and accepting changes. And that Who Moved My Cheese, matter of fact, I pulled that movie up. I didn't even know they had the movie. I've read the book many times. So as soon as this call is over, I'm going to be watching. I already got it pulled up, ready to go. I'm watching that movie, man. But Robert, you always bring so much value, man. Like you inbox me on Facebook with a interesting or inspiring story or quote or interview or something. I mean, bro, and I did a training one time called I am not a network marketer, but rather I'm a networker who leverages marketing. And you're the kind of guy exactly that I talk about in that training, as opposed to some of these people that, just throwing stuff up against the wall, see what sticks. You actually care about people. You pour into people. Like talk about how necessary that is. And that's the thing that allowed you to make millions and millions of dollars in this industry, to be voted in the Hall of Fame, and to be a likable guy, like I'm like way over the top for a lot of people, right? But everybody I know loves Robert.
Well, I mean, again, it's, I tried to say it earlier, everything is based on creating the know, like, and trust with people. And if people just think about the fact that you're there just to try to have them to go to work for you. Again, most of the people, when they look at this profession, really don't understand it. They think it's about finding other people that are going to make you rich. No, you go to work for those people, because that's how you're going to attract people. It's how you bring value to people. And the more value you bring to people, the more you're going to attract the team of people that you're going to have long lasting relationships with. I always focus on what I can do to make an impactful communication, an impactful connection with people, because that way you're going to attract the right people to you for long lasting success. And there's all that information you can get for basically free. Recently I listened to, I think it was Hal, I can't remember the guy's name, but he wrote a book called The Miracle Morning. And, this guy was on top of the world. It happened in 1999. He was coming home from a keynote speech, and he got hit in a head-on accident. It actually was pronounced dead he was dead for 6 minutes, but he survived. But he focused on the things that he could control, the things that he wanted. He got himself back on top of the world. And ultimately then 2008, when everything happened, he found himself upside down again. And again, sometimes things like that happen to you in life, but you focus on what you want, what you want to create. And ultimately he got back on top. That's another book that I highly recommend. You can go to YouTube and get it for free. There's a lot of information out there for free.
Okay, Robert, give that title one more time, because I know somebody's going to text me and ask me. what's
called
the title?
The Miracle Morning. Just go to YouTube, Miracle Morning. It's about a 3-hour listen to. But again, one of the clues, Dr. Stan, I know the impact that you've had from the books you've read, the audios you've listened to. Almost everybody that I know that's super successful, and this is a clue. They've either changed their life because of the things that they read, things that they listened to, and the actions that they did. And you can, Jim Rohn used to say, go to a library, you can get a library card for free, and only 3% of the people use a library.
And now we can go to Google for free, right?
Yeah. Think about it. When I started this business, when I started as an entrepreneur, you didn't have Google, you didn't have Amazon, you didn't have Zoom, you didn't have LinkedIn or other social medias where you can meet people for free. The key is learning how to do it. Why most people fail in meeting the right people is they go right into a pitch before they've had the opportunity to really get to know that person. Develop the relationship, figure out how to create the know, like, and trust, because you've asked them the right questions. You give them the information before you try to pitch them. Sometimes, again, it's that small little change. You're that close to your breakthrough, but sometimes just one small little insight that you make, that you do differently, will give you or accelerate your breakthrough. It might have been something that I said in this conversation, on this call.
Right.
It's hard to say what it is because it's something different for everybody. But again,
Right.
You've got to have belief. You've got to have the knowingness that you're going to have that breakthrough, because that's where it starts.
Wow.
Within your mind. The 6 inches between your ears is where it starts, and how you put it within your body, and knowing that you're going to break through. To me, there was no other option. My intention was to be successful.
Wow. So one of the things I hear you saying without saying, in essence, is you got to make, it's a new year. You need to have a new you for the new year. You need to make new decisions for this new decade. And part of what you've dedicated your life to is empowering people to do that, Robert.
Exactly.
And
we're in the soaring 20s. You heard of the roaring 20s a year, 100 years ago. Now it's the soaring 20s. It's time to fly. It's time to, accelerate the success that you're looking for, that you deserve.
Wow. That's one of the things I say. Your time as a caterpillar has expired. Your wings are now ready. And folks, Robert Butwin is here to empower you to fly. his book, Street Smart Network Marketing, his different audios that he does, and just the person that he is. He's a living. If you hear anything negative about this industry, he's a living, breathing testimonial of the right type of person for this type of business. So, Coach 100K, man, what you got to say, and I'm sure you got a question or two for Mr. Robert Butwin. Of course, Coach 100K has made millions in this industry, and he's also, Robert, the same kind of guy like you are, and that's why I love the both of you guys and what you bring to this industry. If we have more people like you all, I tell you, the world would be just incredible. So, Coach, take it away, man.
Outstanding, outstanding. Hey, thank you, Dr. Breakthrough. Thank you, Robert, man. You brought incredible value to us today. Thanks for the wisdom that you share. You spoke about the book, Who Moved My Cheese, and I have in my closet with my overflow bookshelf because a mentor of mine, Mike Murdoch, said you should have a book for every year of your age on any dominant subject you wish to obtain. So if you want to obtain a good marriage and you're 51 years old, so you should have 51 books on marriage. Okay. If you want to get better on relationships, you should have 51 books on relationships. But when I love to go throughout the flea stores and the little Family Dollar places where you can get stuff for 10, 15 cents. And my wife and I go through that, and we always find this one book. Matter of fact, I got about 20 of these books right now. It's probably the most read but less appreciated books, in my opinion, Who Moved My Cheese? And so we get a chance to pick up the book for about 10 cents or 20 cents. We bring it home and give it to some people on our team. But I wanted to just ask you a question about how do you manage your disappointments when you look at the industry, when you're moving along? There are many people out there who experience so many disappointments because this is a different industry. It's not trading hours for dollars. And so they have to deal with people. How would you help others to manage their disappointments as they move forward to be successful?
First of all, it goes back to what I mentioned about experience. We all have different experiences. We're all having different life lessons. One of the things I learned early on, it was from Dr. Robert Anthony. He says, life will give you lessons. And until you learn those lessons, it will continually trip you up in that lesson you're supposed to learn. So whenever I have whatever lesson that I know that I'm supposed to earn, I'm grateful for it, because I realize that, I'm having that lesson because it's going to have some positive impact as I continually go forward. Again, to me, there is no failure. I take a look at the fact that, and I've always looked at the fact that I was going to always break through. So it's like when I have a disappointment, it's like, down the line as I was going to mentor people, and I knew I was going to break through, I would, when they had disappointments, because I experienced them beforehand. I've already experienced probably almost any and every kind of disappointment that you can imagine, that I could look them in the eye, speak from the heart, and say, I can understand what you're going through. There's an expression I learned when I was doing a seminar in Asia. Same, but different. We're all having similar but different disappointments. And because I went through them and I knew that I was going to become a mentor of many, I would be able to be authentic and real and look people in the eye, speak from the heart, and be able to relate at a different level but similar level, based on the fact that we broke through the things that we needed to break through. So I just looked at it as a learning life lesson.
Wow. Can you get that quote again you gave, man? Give that quote again.
Which one? No, what was it about? I just
live life lessons.
Oh, yeah. In the thing Beyond Positive Thinking by Dr. Robert Anthony, he talked about we're all going to have different lessons in life, and life will continually trip you up until you learn the lesson you're supposed to learn. I can speak from the heart, without going into a lot of detail, because I figured out what lessons I was supposed to learn so that I could use that, because we all have different lessons that we're supposed to learn in life.
Right.
So, I got
Wow.
tired of being tripped up in those lessons.
That was powerful.
I'm telling you, man. Anything else, Coach? If not, well, I'll open it up to see if
No,
anybody.
I'm gonna let the other people talk to our guests. But
Okay.
thank you, Robert. Shuck.
Yep.
Wow. Shark. Okay, so hit star. Was it star? Coach, I think will unmute your line. If you've got a quick
Yes,
question for Mr. Robert Butwin. Star. Thank you, sir. Real quick, you got a quick question. Thank you, Robert. This is incredible, man. Awesome. Folks, this is a living legend you get to talk to. So, star. If you got a quick question.
Star.
Good morning.
Question.
Good morning.
Hi,
Hello.
it's the Queen. And the question that I have is, what were the clues to figuring out the lesson you need to learn? Trust me, I know there's something, but how do you know what you need to learn, the lesson you need to learn?
I was thinking that same thing.
Great minds.
Well, very simple, because you continually get tripped up in that lesson. For example, mine was around money. I would have a lot of people that would come to me, and I'm not going to name names because somebody, I know some of you know some of the people, but I had the thing where I loaned a lot of people money, and it destroyed friendships. I learned you have to create interdependent, not codependent relationships. You need to point people to the information. I know we all want to help people, but unfortunately, sometimes, again, each of us have different lessons we need to learn. So you figure out what is it that is continually tripping you up, that's stopping you, or holding you back, because we're always moving forward towards our goals. But what is it that's really holding you back, so that it's that lesson? But see, most of us miss the signs. And when I say most of us miss the signs, I want you to think, and I want you to answer yourself, is what color are yield signs? I've asked a lot of people that question. You know what answer most people give?
Well, wait a minute. You asked me that question, and I got it wrong, Robert.
That's what I say. Most people get it wrong. The bottom line is, how many yield signs have you driven by in your life of driving? They're red and white, in case you don't know the answer. They haven't been yellow for over 35, 40 years. But we're missing the signs. So you need to be more conscious of whatever your lesson might be.
Thank you.
I got a question.
By the way, okay. Hey, by the way, Robert, after you told me that, I had to run out and check, and I was like, he was right. Go ahead, old school.
What was that first book or something you told us to watch on YouTube?
The first one, let's see, there was Who Moved My Cheese?
No, The Secret.
The Secret, yeah.
The who?
Yeah,
The Secret. It's just called The Secret.
The
It was a
Secret.
phenomenon. It was about the law of attraction. The fact is, it did many good things. It brought to the consciousness level that we can all attract what we want. The only thing that it didn't do, it didn't give you a roadmap of really how to do it. So, again, that's what I tried to do today, is give you the 5 A's in the law of attraction.
Thank you, sir.
All righty.
Good morning.
By the way, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I just have a question, and that question is, how were you working many ML businesses at a time? Were you able to do that, or just separate different types of businesses, or I would like to know, how do you manage different and multiple businesses?
Well, I've got checks from a variety of different businesses, but I don't recommend you doing more than one at a time. There were different reasons why, I ended up moving from a company A to company B with new people. You don't bring people from A to B. If you choose to ever do a second one or a third one, again, there's more than enough people out there that are looking for the right thing. And the point was, I needed the check coming from company A, and I didn't want to, lose it because I was cross recruiting. So, again, become successful with one. Then you've got the resources to do a second one if you choose to do it, or you can just continually go on the first one that you're doing and just go to the higher levels. That's a choice you need to make yourself. One of the things is every network marketing company works. They're all based on geometric progressions. And if you've got the skills to find the right people and to empower the right people, to simplify this business, it's really about two parts. Number one, attracting the right people, but number two, about how do you empower the other people? If you build people, people build businesses. If you focus on what you can do to build people, they're going to create your team for you.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Build people. Outstanding.
Awesome. All righty. Well, I think that's our time. And I'm telling you, Robert, you serve the people today in your own special Robert Butwin way. And so what's that one thing you say to help people remember your name?
Oh, just remember, with Robert, you do nothing but win.
I like that. You do nothing but win.
Yeah. You know what? When you were younger, you got teased because of your name. Now I've turned that negative into a positive. Like Zig Ziglar used to say, "Make lemons out of lemonade, or make lemonade out of
Wow.
lemons."
Wow, that's nice.
Wow.
Awesome last name.
All righty. Well, hey, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And folks, again, that's Robert Butwin. And remember, with Robert, you can't do anything but win.